It's time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online for all your website needs at sonicwebstudios.com. The Mike Wagner Show brings you interesting people doing interesting things all across the globe. Now, let's get started on the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also on our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also click, like, invite, and share the many episodes. And we encourage everybody to share the page with family and friends. And also, the Mike Wagner Show can be downloaded and listened either live or playback on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well to your Android, smartphone, iPhone, or even Alexa. Play Mike Wagner. And we are here with a very fine gentleman who is an actor in many films, including The Toy, starring Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason. He was also in Kidco, A Christmas Story, and he'll tell you about a rather famous scene that sticks out in people's minds during Christmas time. Also, a TV show, A Time to Live, Liza Minnelli, Corey Haim, and Jeffrey DeMunn. And he also manages sports and movie memorabilia, and he's also got some very interesting projects out there. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, live from California, and it's not the cat that gets his tongue. It is one of a flagpole and many others, Scott Schwartz. Scott, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us here.
Exactly. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. You've been an actor in many films like The Toy, starring Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason. You're also in Kidco and A Christmas Story, which you're involved in that famous scene where something happened to your tongue, and you can tell us a little bit about that. A Time to Live, starring Liza Minnelli, Corey Haim, and Jeffrey DeMunn. You also manage sports and movie memorabilia, and you also got some other projects. But first of all, tell us how you got started in acting.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I was back 1977. I was fortunate enough that I used to go to a film club with my dad in New York City, and one of the guys in there was producing a commercial. And one day he's like, "Hey, I'm producing this commercial. Would you like to be in it? I think you'd be great." And that was kind of the start of it, believe it or not.
Oh, my goodness. And which one was that?
Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink with Yogi Berra was one of my first commercials I did.
Oh, really? Yogi Berra. Oh, my gosh. You must have flung one of those Yogi quotes at you.
He was all over the place, but he was such a nice man. I was just, this was my first job, and, it's one of those things where, kids are kids, and if you're nice to somebody, they're nice to you. And I was nice, and he was cool.
Yeah, it sounded like it, too. And were you also a baseball fan back then as well, too?
Oh, of course. The Yankees were my favorite team, so.
Aha, the Yankees.
It was a no-brainer to do it.
Must have been a big influence. And how do you think the Yankees are going to do this year?
The roster's not set yet. It's going to be interesting.
I think it does. I think it does sound interesting, especially when they almost got knocked out of the playoffs. The Boston Red Sox end up having the best record. They won by like 20 games last year or something. It's like an insane number last season.
Well, yeah, but rosters change. You get turnover. You get a different closer. You get so many different variables. Guys can't get hurt. Somebody gets hurt, and then it's like, oh my God, now what do we do?
Mm-hmm.
Are they gonna still go after either Machado or Harper? it's all over the place.
Mm-hmm. And it also changes now with the pitching these days. Pitchers don't go 9 innings anymore, 8 innings, 7 innings. The most they go up to 5, and then sometimes you'll throw in a reliever to start a game. And, of course, they're the Yankees, and one day they could throw in Aroldis Chapman for all we know to start.
I'm not a big fan of the cybermetrics and the yank a guy after the 4th inning because he's seen the lineup twice, and I don't know. It's just not me. I'm kind of old school.
Mm-hmm.
Let a guy stay in there 6, 7 innings, but they just don't do it.
Right. And of course, back in the day, too, it's like you go 6, 7, 8, even 9 innings, you throw 200 pitches, it shows how strong and very talented you are. So, and of course, we can talk more about that when you get into the sports memorabilia. And first of all, just what influenced you to get into acting as well? Besides getting into a commercial, what's the first thing that got you influenced?
You mean like what was my inspiration? There wasn't on it. It just kind of happened.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I did plays when I was probably in like 2nd and 3rd grade, like everybody else in grade school, but it was not something that I aspired to do. It just happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you start doing one thing, you start doing commercials, then there's voiceovers, and then I did an off-Broadway show, and then I did oh God, I'm trying to think of what else. Off-Broadway, Broadway, it just kind of, everything just kind of happened.
Mm-hmm.
Everything just in succession.
So it sounds like everything just kind of came to you, which is also a good thing. So, most people are like that. Things fall into place, and that's a good thing. So, of course, we'll talk about one of the movies as well, too, being in the toy. And what was it like back then working with Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason?
Phenomenal. Really, there's no way to describe it. There really isn't.
Mm-hmm.
You got two guys they have different, not really egos, but just two different mindsets about how they do things. And Gleason was older, Pryor was younger, Gleason was more reserved. Richard was reserved until you kind of wound him up.
Mm-hmm.
Once you got him going, oh God, how do you describe it? It's indescribable. I mean, I heard things on that set I never should have heard at my age.
Really? Like what?
Oh, just anything under the sun. When it was about women, with drugs, booze, the language, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a different time. We weren't worried about things. My parents never cared about language and stuff like that, and they knew who Richard Pryor was, and they're like, okay, it's a job. You're going to be with adults. This is what goes on. And I had heard everything under the sun already anyway at 13 years old.
Uh-huh.
But the stories and hear about Gleason working on Smokey and the Bandit, and then talking with him about The Hustler, him shooting pool, him teaching me how to shoot pool. It was a never-ending education.
It does.
That's really what it was.
It does sound amazing too, and of course, one of the more famous scenes that you're associated with was A Christmas Story. It's where they double dog you or double dare you. It's somewhere along those lines. I double dog dare you. And what did you do to inspire a double dog dare you, which is still popular today?
I've heard it all. I've heard it 1,000 times, maybe 2,000 times at this point. It's funny because most people, they go, oh, you made a movie, it must have been so much fun. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It was anywhere from 10 to 25 degrees below zero.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we were in Cleveland shooting, I mean, it was just bitter cold.
Oh, my gosh. And so
it's people think, oh, it was so much fun. I'm like, no, it wasn't. The people have asked me, what's your most favorite part of doing Christmas Story? I said, getting on the plane leaving.
Getting on the plane and leaving, I bet. And, of course, someone was going to ask me, too, where your tongue got stuck on the flagpole, and someone asked me if it was a real thing, or was it where it's like, they put on some kind of coating or like a fake tongue or something like that. And if it was real, it's like, how long did it take to get your tongue off the flagpole, and they use hot water or...
It was just a suction tube. They had a hole. It was a plastic pole. It wasn't what most people think. Was it fake? Was it a fake tongue? No, it was really my tongue.
Mm-hmm. But it was in a suction. But like you said, it was in a suction tube with a hole and everything else. That is interesting. So at least we know that you actually did not get stuck. And of course, if you did get stuck, you probably have to pour hot water on it, or they have some way. Nowadays, it's like you go to the emergency room right away, and then you just go in for counseling. I mean, back in the day, it's like it was a double dog. Nowadays, like, you don't double dog.
No, that was, how can I just give it to you? It was fake. It was a plastic pole, and it was a suction tube, and it was all fake. It was all, acting and all that, other than it was just bitter cold. I mean, again, I can't even begin to tell people what that kind of cold is when it's just in your bones and you just feel everything.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, and of course, it's probably something you'll get remembered as well, too. And, of course, later you've gotten some other things. We'll get to that. But first of all, you listen to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable, custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can also download and listen through SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We're here with Scott Schwartz. He was in quite a number of films like The Toy, starring Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason, Kidco, and A Christmas Story. Also, Time to Live with Liza Minnelli, Corey Haim, and Jeffrey DeMund. You can tell us all about that TV special.
Time to Live was a fun show. We did 10 days we did 16 days in Montreal. And that was a fun shoot. Liza was very sweet. We were kids. Again, when you're a kid, it's like, okay. You kind of, they kind of let you get away with more stuff. Working with Corey Haim was fun. We became best of friends till he was no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff DeMund played the dad. He's wonderful. He's in The Green Mile. He's been in a million different shows.
That is something, too. And, of course, you also went on to other things as well, too. You also took up some sports and movie memorabilia. So what made you the decision to go into sports and movie memorabilia? You got some Donruss cards. You also worked with Eric Murdoch, a future professional basketball player, and everything else. And your dad once was Elvis Presley's U.S. Army company clerk in Germany from 1958 to 1960.
Yeah, that was my dad. He was fortunate enough to end up in Elvis's company.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was just a regular guy. Even though he was Elvis Presley, he was just a regular guy. If he saw you on the street, he'd say, "How you doing? How you doing, Benny?" That's what my dad used to say it to me. And he was there. And fortunate enough that my dad couldn't march. He had flat feet. So they had to put him in clerical school. The minute he had to do that, it was on.